Gentlemen, prostate cancer doesn't just happen. It quietly grows stronger when your daily food choices keep feeding the wrong internal environment. And if you're skipping these 4 specific spices, you may be leaving your body without some of the simplest, most biologically active tools you can start using today. I know it can sound too easy. Spices don't feel serious enough when PSA numbers cause real fear. But this isn't folk wisdom. These spices send daily signals that calm inflammation, support your immune system, and make it harder for abnormal prostate cells to thrive. I'm Dr. Catherine. I'm a urologist, and I'm also a 6-year cancer survivor. I've sat with men whose lives changed after one test result, and I've also watched what happens when the body gets steady support day after day. If you're worried about recurrence or that PSA number creeping up again, stay with me. Today is about taking back control, starting with your next meal. Now, you might wonder why something as simple as a spice in your dinner could matter so much for something as serious as prostate cancer. Let me explain it this way. Think of your body as a garden. Modern medicine is exceptional at removing weeds, which is absolutely vital. But if the soil in that garden stays poor, if it's acidic and depleted, new weeds will keep coming back. Your internal environment is that soil. For your prostate, 2 things poison that soil. The first is silent, simmering inflammation. This is low-grade fire inside that stresses your cells. The second is a tired, sluggish immune system. When your defenses aren't sharp, they can miss the early signs of a problem. What you choose to eat every single day sends direct signals to either fan those flames or cool them down. Your food can either dull your immune system or give it a supportive nudge. This daily signaling is powerful. It directly influences your long-term prostate cancer risk and your body's resilience. The goal is not find one magic fix. The goal is to consistently improve the environment, the soil, so it naturally supports your health. These 4 spices work as gentle daily tools for exactly that. They help calm inflammation and wake up your body's own vigilant defenses. This is how we build a foundation for prostate health that lasts. So, we start with first spice. It has the strongest research behind it and one simple preparation step most men miss. It's garlic. I find it almost ironic. Many men take it for granted. They sprinkle it on a meal and think that's the end of the story. For prostate health, garlic deserves far more respect than a garnish. A whole clove is like a locked vault. The good stuff inside, the sulfur compounds that do the work, need to be released. Crushing or smashing garlic breaks its cells, starting a chemical reaction that creates the active beneficial compounds. Think of this as arming your most basic ingredient. Once activated, the compounds exert a triple action precisely aligned with fighting prostate cancer. First, they slow down the growth cycle of cancer cells. Second, they give your immune system a meaningful boost. They specifically encourage your natural killer cells, which are like your body's own security team tasked with finding and dealing with trouble. Third, and critically, they support your liver's cleaning process, helping your body to efficiently manage and remove excess hormones and toxins that might otherwise put stress on your prostate. Early in my medical training, one lesson came up again and again. Cancer doesn't act alone. Prostate cancer especially is usually several systems needing support. A drug often targets just one pathway. Garlic gently assists several areas at once: inflammation control, immune response, and hormone balance. It helps normalize the very terrain we're trying to correct. Population studies, like the PLCO trial, show men with the highest intake of allium vegetables, like garlic, have a significantly lower risk of advanced prostate cancer. Now, this doesn't prove garlic alone prevents cancer, but the pattern is strong and it makes biological sense. This is about stacking probabilities in your favor with every meal. I remember a patient, let's call him Tom, on active surveillance. He was overwhelmed by supplements, terrified of his PSA tests. We simplified his protocol to focus on foundational foods, starting with garlic. Within 6 weeks, he reported not just better digestion, but improved urinary flow, and most importantly, a transformed mindset. He moved from passive fear to active participation. That shift is everything. So here's your simple protocol. 1 or 2 cloves used most days makes sense. Smash or finely chop it and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking. That short rest allows the beneficial compounds to fully form. Add it near the end of cooking with moderate heat so the compounds survive. Consistency matters more than large doses. Small amounts used regularly create a signal your body responds to over time. Now let's move to our second spice, turmeric. Turmeric is everywhere, but 95% of men are using it incorrectly and seeing zero benefit. The issue is that we need to prepare it in a way your body can actually absorb and benefit from. This is the key that makes all the difference. Turmeric's power comes from one key compound, curcumin. For prostate cancer, curcumin doesn't just reduce inflammation, it directly combats the cancer by interfering with signals that tell cancer cells to grow. It helps starve tumors by slowing the growth of new blood vessels that feed them. It also encourages cancer cells to shut down naturally. Chronic inflammation is like a constant alarm bell in your body that can encourage prostate cancer cells to grow and spread. It creates a fertile soil where cancer cells thrive, attack the immune system, and resist treatment. Using turmeric effectively is a targeted strategy to quiet that alarm. Before my cancer diagnosis, I only studied inflammation on paper. After, I felt it, a deep bone-level fatigue and a persistent ache. That's when I understood that inflammation control wasn't a sidebar to recovery, it was central to it. Turmeric became a daily non-negotiable in my own healing journey. Curcumin is useless without its partners. You must use the golden trio. First, always pair with black pepper. A compound in pepper increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. Second, consume it with healthy fat. Curcumin dissolves into fat, which helps you absorb it. Cook it in olive oil, coconut milk, or whole milk. Third, mild heat helps. This is why a properly made golden milk latte, which combines all three, is such an effective way to take it. Studies from institutions like Thomas Jefferson University show that curcumin can help slow tumor growth, even in aggressive cases. For men, it helps lower signs of inflammation in the body. More importantly, men report feeling less pain and have more energy during their day. A prostate cancer survivor in our program went through radiation therapy. The treatment left him with stiff, painful joints. We started him on a daily golden milk protocol. Within 6 weeks, his pain scores dropped significantly. He told me, "I got back into my garden." That's the win. Reclaiming your life and joy. That's what this is for. Now, spice number 3 is my personal favorite, ginger. Ginger sits at the intersection of 2 things every cancer survivor needs: feeling better day to day and supporting the biology underneath. It offers both comfort and protection. Ginger contains natural compounds called gingerols and shogaols. These calm inflammation, reduce oxidative stress, and help slow abnormal cell activity. Oxidative stress is simply wear and tear inside your cells caused by unstable molecules called free radicals. When those build up, they can damage your cell's DNA and push cells toward unhealthy changes. Ginger helps neutralize those molecules, which helps keep the internal environment more stable. And stability is exactly what we're aiming for, because prostate cancer grows best when the body stays inflamed and unsettled. Most men know ginger as something you take for nausea, especially during treatment. That's true, but that's only the surface. Studies show that it can slow prostate tumor growth by over 50%. It also improves how your body uses insulin. This is critical because high insulin levels act like high-octane fuel for prostate cancer cells. Ginger helps stabilize your internal environment. During my own recovery, my exhaustion was relentless. What surprised me most was how badly my digestion suffered. And when digestion collapses, recovery becomes harder because your body can't absorb what it needs to rebuild. Ginger didn't just calm nausea, it restored order. It helped my stomach settle, helped me tolerate food again, and that directly supported my energy, immunity, and day-to-day function. In my practice, I've seen it help men not just with nausea, but with bloating and the appetite loss that sabotages recovery. A simple cup of warm ginger tea about 20 minutes before a meal can be the difference between maintaining muscle mass and wasting away. One man I supported couldn't eat enough. His appetite was gone. Ginger tea before meals helped him tolerate food again, and that's what allowed strength to return. This is the kind of improvement that doesn't always show up on a scan, but it absolutely shows up in your quality of life. And over time, quality of life supports consistency. Consistency supports terrain change. My mantra is this: prostate cancer thrives in biological chaos. Healing requires stability. Ginger, by calming digestion, regulating blood sugar, and reducing oxidative stress, is a powerful force for stability in your internal terrain. Our fourth and final spice, Cayenne, is the most aggressive on the list. This one brings some heat, and that heat comes from a compound called capsaicin. Studies show this compound has a strong, direct effect on prostate cancer cells. It's the most focused of the spices we're discussing today. Capsaicin works in two ways. First, it creates an environment inside cancer cells that encourages them to stop growing and shut down. Second, it acts like a system-wide catalyst. It promotes healthy circulation, which improves the flow of oxygen and nutrients while removing waste, thus creating a more efficient, less stagnant environment where cancer struggles. Now, I need to be very clear about this spice. Cayenne pepper is not for everyone. If you have a sensitive stomach, especially during or after cancer treatment, it may cause discomfort. You should never feel like you have to endure pain or irritation from a food. This approach is always about gentle, supportive steps. If your system is sensitive, it is perfectly okay to focus on the first three spices we discussed. For those who tolerate it well, cayenne offers an additional long-term benefit for prostate cancer risk reduction. It gives your metabolism a slight supportive nudge. Since obesity is a clear risk factor for more aggressive prostate cancer and recurrence, this makes cayenne a tool not just for defense, but for proactive risk reduction. If you choose to try it, this is the only way you should start. Use a very small amount, just a pinch from the tip of a knife. Stir this tiny amount into a large pot of soup, a stew, or a sauce. Do this only 2 or 3 times a week at most. We're not looking for a strong sensation. We are aiming for a gentle, consistent signal that supports your body over time. A small, regular touch is the perfect way to include this powerful spice. So let's bring this all together. These 4 spices are powerful tools, but I want to be very clear, they are not a cure. They don't replace your doctor, your treatment plan, or the care that's already protecting your life. What they do offer is something quieter and more powerful over time. They create repeated signals inside your body, day after day, meal after meal. Those signals slowly shape the internal environment that prostate cancer responds to. Remember this, each meal is a message to your prostate. Are you sending messages of stress and chaos, or are you sending messages of defense, stability, and repair? These 4 spices allow you to consciously choose the latter every single day. Now that you know what to add, the next essential piece is knowing what to remove. The wrong foods can work against your efforts and inflame your system faster than these spices can cool it. In my next video, I'll explain foods you must eliminate immediately to protect your prostate. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we post it here.